Greetings, fellow warriors. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Sengoku Dynasty, Episode 4, Hubris and Second Chances. This requires bamboo, which I don't really have right now. I don't live very close to a bamboo forest, so 2 stone, 1 bamboo. Bamboo generally grows near rivers. Where's the closest river to me? There's a river down here. Well, you asked about fall damage. Here you go. I got hurt. You have to fall quite a distance for it to be fatal. Oh, there's some enemies afoot. I have 1 wooden yari. I would not mind having a second one before engaging them, just as a backup. Don't mind me, people. I'm gonna be your doom, but just in a second. So, what I just did to him was a system called poise. Poise is essentially your ability to prevent from being stunned. Is, I think, the easiest way to explain it. So if you attack them enough, you will defeat their poise defenses and break through their defense and stun them, allowing you to do like heavy strikes or execution type attacks. So I poise broke that attacker, which is why he like knelt down and I dealt a killing blow. And your player has a certain amount of poise. My poise right now is 102, and you have armor, damage, etc. You have your stats up there in the top. So I have like 75 health, 120 stamina, 100 food. I do 6 damage with my current weapon, 2 armor because I'm basically naked. Almost no encumbrance because I'm, again, basically naked with a poise of 102. So as your poise goes up, your essentially stun defense goes up, which can be useful. Alright, bamboo was around the Shinto priestess. I guess we can run back that way for it. Well, that's hemp right there. So some crops, like hemp, can only be collected when it's in season. So this is what hemp looks like in the game. And the flowers on the hemp will turn red when it's harvestable. But they're only harvestable in the autumn. Here's some bamboo. So seasonal crops like hemp and flax are very important, but can't be collected all seasons. So you're going to want to get hemp and flax. Flax in the summers and hemp in the fall, because they're your main way to make linen. New craftsman, give me more stamina. One of the advantages of getting stamina out of the craftsman tree is stamina is also useful, obviously, for combat. So sometimes when it's useful for multiple things, like running around or combat or crafting, I like to get it. Just how I generally level up. So I don't want to have to come back here too often. I'd rather just have a whole bunch of bamboo at home. So I'm cutting down plenty so that I don't have to make... I think that's one that's collected, so I don't have to make return trips. So now that I have, actually there was a little bit more of the workshop to build, so let's go back and finish that off. And then I will do the special project station. So high level enemies have such defenses and health that you can only really damage them and break when they're poised? No. It just... stuns them to allow you to do like a heavy strike, but you can kill high-level enemies without using the poise system at all if you want. It is it's a way to do bonus damage, not a way to do base damage. You can think of it that way. All right, where was I? The workstation? Okay, so we have a smelter here, which will turn copper, tin, and firewood into bronze. We have a woodworking table, which allows you to make weapons, some clothing, better tools, as you can see, a wooden shovel, which is really nice to have. So I'm going to put this shovel on my 7 key. A hoe for farming, better, lots of variety. Spiritual items for when you need to fulfill spirituality for your people. Light sources, so, you know, torches. I'll show you one of these. So unlocking one of those torches, I can go to basic structures. Actually, where is it? It's furniture? I forget. No, maybe it's basic structures. Or other light sources. Yeah, here we go. So now I can attach a torch to the wall. And so it's decorations, light sources, wooden torch. And I can stick torches on the wall to illuminate buildings however I please. So there's a lot of in-depth decorations that you can do in this game. That's another torch, because I had 2 on me. All right. I'll do smelting in a bit later. And then here's beverage access. So this is one of the woodworking table is one of the most important because this allows you to queue up someone to maintain tools for your town. So now that that is built, let's go ahead and rebuild that bridge, shall we? The bridge is over here. And it also looks like there's a refugee down here that I could talk to too. So I'm going to talk to the refugee and bring them in. We're providing all the meals and heating that we need at the moment. So beverages is going to be the next thing. Beverages initially is pretty easy to fulfill. Just build a well, have them drink well water. But eventually, it's not very efficient to have everyone drink well water. It's better to make it into complex goods like sake. And yes, you have to say it like that. Sake! But if we want sake, we're going to need rice patties. Or tea. Tea works too. The advantage of sake over tea you can only grow in the spring, whereas rice grows in 3 seasons. So rice is a little bit more flexible. And also, sake sells for a crap ton. So if you want to make money, sake is the way to go. And also, sake is made into medicines as well. So you can make complex medicines out of sake too, which fulfills healthcare needs. Again, I'm getting a little ahead of myself, but your people will eventually require beverage needs, security needs, healthcare needs, beverage needs, etc., etc. I don't care about your story, just live in my new village. So glad that you trust me. So, putting new guy into Yadatsu, into the sleeping mat. I'm gonna assign him to work as a woodworker, and I'm gonna tell him to no, I am not. Decided against that. Tohachiro, I'm not gonna do that. You're gonna do something though. You're unemployed for now. I need a better thing for him to do later. Alright, let's get this bridge rebuilt. And I'm going to have you guys vote for the next priority while I am setting this thing up. So grabbing my deer hammer here. I go to the Special Project Construction Workshop. And this is a temporary building where you have to supply it. I know my pole is in the way at the moment, but it's supplied with stone, bamboo, logs, and planks. And then that houses the special construction project. And in this case, it's rebuilding that bridge. And they're temporary buildings that then you staff to rebuild the world. So now that I have a shovel, I can get one more log off of the trunk, which is nice. Looks like you guys want me to have better gear. I'm down for that. So, special project. Supplying the logs. Let's supply the planks. I'll get a lot more planks than I need. Oops. I don't need an axe. Oh well. I have a spare axe now. Need it adds. And I'm going to hide this pole. It looks like it's going one way pretty obviously, so that will be my next goal. Alright, so once you build the special project workshop, it will then require you to supply, in this case, 12 logs, 20 planks. So I'm going to select planks. And I have 19 of the 20 supplied because I just planked a whole bunch of wood. So we need to supply 12 logs and one more plank. So we've got 8, 9, and this will be, oh, well, actually this will be 13, but one extra, I guess. All right, there we go. So with a fully supplied special project workshop, then we can assign one worker. And the worker that wanted to do this was Sayori. So Sayori, you are going to be assigned to this special project. And the way this works is this bridge will be built at the end of season. So there is a way to cheese this, which is that your workers only are assigned special projects the last day of a season. Or alternatively, you can, every season is at least 2 days long and at most 7 days long. So after the first 2 days of a specific season, you can just advance the season. I generally don't do that because it feels weird to just be like, hey, give me summer, please. But it's a totally viable way to do that. So Sayori's old job is going to be then filled by the new guy I just brought in. So she was working at the Forager. Now Tochichiro is going to be collecting the wasabi instead. There we go. So she's assigned, and you guys wanted me to improve my gear. Did you not? So let's do that. All right, one obvious, easy way to do this would be to... I'm going to move my tools around. Shovel on 8, adds on 7. because 6 is going to be a pick. So let's go pick up some, pun intended, pick up some copper. This is all stone. Copper has like a green tinge to it. So I'm going to wander. Oh, here we go. And already I've unlocked the ability to make a copper yari. But I'm going to want more copper than that. Also getting hungry. Well, I can fix the hunger. Campfires are so incredibly cheap in this game. Just wherever you want one, build one. It's probably enough eggs. Yep. I like to leave no trace. I mean, there's no real disadvantage. There's no real problem of like leaving campfires all over the place. I just think it's ugly. Where is the Shinto priestess? She's back here. I have a bunch of junk to sell her, if she has the coin. The traders will refresh their inventories periodically. I just don't actually think it's been long enough, so she might be broke. We'll see. Yep, she's broke. Yeah, I'm gonna buy a little rice off her, a little parsley off her, a little wheat off her, and then sell her my bounties. Oh, she still can't afford the bounties? Let's buy a lotus root and wasabi. Sell a bounty. Sell a calabash bottle, a comb. She can't afford the comb. I'll buy more rice. Still can't afford the comb, but I'll just buy all your rice. There. All your rice for a comb. Pretty good trade, I think. More lotus seed. There. Cool. All done. So, I basically have the same amount of money, but a lot more raw resources. Hey, Rusty, thank you for the resub. Now that I'm not actually actively working on Road to Renewal, I'm going to hide that off my bar. I'm working on improving my gear. Let's head back to Yadasu and make use of... Oh, don't do me like that. Fine, bye. Make use of my my newfound copper. Now, ideally, we're gonna want bronze, right? Like, copper ain't good enough. Bronze is where it's at. I'm just like... Just... Aim not! Just huck. I'm not actually in earnest trying to hunt them. They're just kind of in my way. With that said, fur does become a very important resource to obtain. Very important. But not now. Now it don't matter. So coming over to the woodworking table, I am going to work towards bronze, I think. I don't really want copper. I want to skip copper altogether. So, in order to make a copper axe, I need to liberate the Sosoji region. So that's, interestingly, I think what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a copper yari so that it will help me liberate the Sosoji region by liberating the Sosoji region. So here's what that's going to look like. I want a bow. Ooh, get a bronze sword. No, I don't have bronze swords. So a short bow requires rope, but I can make rope here out of straw. So I'm going to make 2 bows. And then I'm going to make... Let's see. I guess... I have the yari, which is going to be better than the wooden one. So the copper yari is damage 8, armor pen 6, and the wooden yari is damage 6. The copper yari does not get thrown, but has like heavy attacks instead, which is kind of nicer, in my opinion. All right, the next thing I wanted to make here was... trying to think, maybe stone arrows instead of the wooden ones, because they'll hit a bit harder. And I'm out of feathers, so we're just going to have to roll with what I've got. The foragers in hunting allow you to sort of automate some of that. I got a wall facer? Yeah, I know. Make 1 wooden armor for the XP? I'll take a look at it in a sec. So I'm storing all the food that I wanted in here. It's also important to note that you can tell people to not eat certain things. So if I go to meals here, as you can see, we have wasabi, we have rice. I can say don't eat the rice, don't eat the wheat, don't eat the parsley, eat the shiitake mushrooms, eat the eggs, and this is the order of importance as well, from top down. So like the higher up on it is going to be eaten first, but but you can do consumption toggles for just about everything. So I can say for beverages, for maintenance, everything you can toggle on or off at your will. So I told them not to eat the goods that I just supplied, and the reason is I would like to farm those things, but if they eat them, I can't plant them. So I'm telling them basically don't plant them, or don't eat them so I can plant them. All right, so arrows, the spare bow, the spare yari, and you wanted me to see about some basic armors. So here's a refugee hat I could make. I think that's about it in terms of gear. So here's my refugee hat. Yep, this is me. Record scratch. All right. In order to liberate Sosoji, I need to kill the looter leader and to build the small bridge. And the looter leader is here. So let's go gank him. I'm going to fast travel to Sosoji. Saves me some time. And let's head north. Yeah, and exactly. Nothing like a bow to reach out and say hello. So, in here you have your quiver slot. So you can pick which arrows you fire. If I had wooden ones, I wouldn't be firing them because the stone ones are better. There's also like crazy amounts of question marks around me. So I might want to just poke around to see what these question marks are. Because they might reveal This one, I know what it is, but the others might be interesting. So this is a lighthouse construction site. Oh, and Dynasty Legend XP received. So it was the first time a bunch of my villagers did stuff for the first time, so I got some Dynasty experience out of that, which is nice. So there's another question mark. It's a shrine restoration. So there's a ruined lighthouse and a ruined shrine that need repair around. And repairing that stuff. So the liberation requirement for Sosoji is to build the bridge. And I already have a special project to rebuild the bridge set up. And Sayori is doing it. But the lighthouse and the shrine would give me dynasty experience. There's also 2 more refugees over here. So currently, our population is 6. And if I add 1 more refugee, our population pops up to 7. Which means we will need beverages to be supplied to people. And the easiest way to get beverages is to build a simple well. So if I recruited these guys right now, I would sort of need to go back to town to build a well to start to get water. So I'm going to mark the refugees here later to be recruited, because I don't want to recruit them right now, because then I would be diverted from my current priority of improve my tools. So in the About command, I do mention exploits, and one big exploit this game has is that enemies, at least for now, I don't know if in the roadmap this will change, but at least for now, enemies do not use ranged weapons. Which means that if you stand somewhere terrain impassable, like if I stood on one of these rocks down here, it's very possible that like the enemies would not be able to reach me ever, and I could fire away on them with arrows in perpetuity. Oh, I'm aloof. That was a lot of fall damage because I was hanging there. That's okay. That just makes my kill all these looters even more challenging. I start with a handicap. Good. They need it. Alright, here we go. Let's clear out the bandits. So, it's also important noting that there are way more enemies in this camp than what is required for the task. So the task requires me to kill 5 total. There's going to be, like, way more than 5 of them in here. But that's fine, because I like murder, so they're going to get some. So I just aggroed them, and I'm not really sure where they went. But I don't want to shoot at someone new, provided that there's already enemies coming at me. Ah, here they are. Hey, you guys! What are you, running like a hook pattern? Well, you're dead. It's also worth noting the weapons that the enemies drop are basically broken. Like, by default, they're ruined. So picking up enemy weapons will have almost no resale value. So you might be able to use them for like 5 or 6 swings, but like you're not going to be able to sell them for anything. So some of these enemies might actually have weapons that seem good, but trust me, they're not. I will pick one up to show you. I think you're closer. Oh, so this is a case where like he can't path at me. So he's just like standing there waiting for me to kill him. Good, I leveled up. Let's see. More HP and more range damage. You can recover the arrows that you fire. So I just grabbed both. Oh, is there someone in that tent? No. You're dead. Ooh, he gave me 10 arrows. Oh, wow. And I just got 15 charcoal off that one. These guys are not poor. Well, I mean, I don't know. They've been looting everyone. There's also loot boxes. Or boxes of loot. Loot boxes kind of has a different connotation. That you can find in these camps. So when I interact with them, I will, I'll point them out. They're usually boxes with glowing candles attached. So this is a heavy attack. Oh. And then that's the poise break, where he got stunned because I broke his poise. And down he goes. Got a little... Oh, I got copper arrows off that one. So let's switch to copper arrows. Sounds good. I've obviously killed way more than 5 looters already. But, you make a lot of money killing people. So, even though I'm beyond my requirements for the bounty, I'm gonna keep on killing them. You want some? Poise break, and you're dead. Ooh, he had a chisel. So here's an example. Here's the wooden yari I took off of him, and it's like almost fully broken. Which is why it's virtually useless. But the chisel allows me to make chiseled stone, which is a maintenance item, and also a prerequisite for a lot of nicer buildings. He had water. Oh, it's getting dark. Let's just go for the boss at this point. I've established superiority over them pretty severely. I think they need to be put to rest. So there's a lot more looters that I can come back to like clear more of them, but I'm just going to be boss killing at this point. So the boss is, I think, somewhere over here. So I'm going to clear out some of the lackeys that are going to join in the boss fight if I don't kill them first, and then go for the boss. This is a case where, like, he can't path at me. Oh, no, you can. Ow. Stop it. So there is a parry system where if you block right before they attack, it's a successful parry, and you will avoid damage and be able to riposte or counterattack. I just got stuck in that, like, in that divot there, so I couldn't really move, which is why I got so many free shots on me. Oh, look at you. You have a big club. But I have high ground. Wooden kanabo. Alright. You're dead too. Just like your friend here. Unfortunately, none of them have given me any, like, medicine for my wounds. But there's the looter leader. And he is next. So let's weigh the leader. Unlock worker productivity training. Sounds nice. And weigh the warrior. Unlock more HP. And then better dashing. Oh, I missed. Oh no, maybe it's in the tree right in front of me. If you hit T as in Tango, it also lets you lock targets for more of like an epic duel. Oh, I let him get a heavy hit. That hurt. Now I'm down to like no health. And he's gonna take me down, probably. Which is important to show the death mechanic. Yeah, there we go. So if you die, you lose half your money, or no, half your food and a little bit of your money. My camera's slightly out of position. And then you will respawn at your last location. So there's the death penalty, or, well, that sounds wrong. But there's the penalty for dying. I'm going to put my stuff away and then go back to them. So I'm just going to move everything into storage and then grab the important gear. Now, realistically, I could have just, like, backed away and left that fight. I didn't have to, like, fight to the death. There wasn't really a lot of benefit in it, but it did, for, like, tutorial and educational purposes, I think it was worth letting him take me down, because in normal circumstances, given how avoidable it is, it would have been really easy for me not to have died in that case, especially given that almost all the damage I had incurred up until that point was fall damage. But the penalty for death isn't really all that high, meaning, and the enemies that I have killed in that encampment are dead, so returning there, I can just pick up where I left off. I don't need to restart the whole process over again. There's also one other thing that I think worth mentioning. It's a bug that I ran into while playing, which is I had one region that the regional boss did not spawn. I had cleared the entire camp, but they were nowhere to be seen. And if you ever run into that, what you can do is you can go into the difficulty settings here and change it to custom. And to disable the combat regional requirements, meaning that you will not be required to kill the regional boss to unlock the region. And then you can unlock the region, and then you can put it back. You can set your game mode back to, like, whatever it was before. So if you ever run into that bug, I think it was worth noting, where, like, the boss doesn't spawn, and you can't find them, and you're like, what the hell? I can't liberate this region with no boss. You can skip that region boss that way. So, if that helps any of you, if you end up playing, I'm glad I could be of some service. Because I ran into that issue. Not with this boss, but with a different boss, where, like, he just wasn't there. Nowhere to be seen. So, I disabled the region requirement for defeating the bosses, and then put it back on. Because once a region is liberated, bosses do not respawn, and they don't become unliberated, unlike Bellwright. So, a few months ago, I played Bellwright, which is like very similar to this game, but Bellwright had a game mechanic where regions that were liberated could become under the Lord or King or whatever his name was rule, where you unliberate them effectively. But this game, once it's free, it's free. I have a lot of money. What buildings would I want to unlock? Yeah, that's a good point. I think I wanted to get the wood storage. There. So now if I die again, I don't lose as much money because I've unlocked the wood storage building. I shouldn't die again. I mean, you know, I sort of fought to the death for no reason. I could have scrambled away. But this time, it's for serious! Probably shouldn't have been super exhausted going into this fight. Because here I am, eating my words. But as I said, you can always just back away from the fight, too. Normally, I would have Healing Brew on me, which makes fights like these a little bit easier, being able to heal. But I don't want to have to do the death run again, so I think what I'm going to do is just back up and then shoot him for the win. Shouldn't have disengaged, friend. I have, like, no stamina. He's like, meddling kids? Alright, I'll recover stamina. Yeah, they are, by design, tougher than their lackeys. But it doesn't help that I'm, like, just face tanking. You don't know what to do you? Alright, let's go ahead, and given that I've face tanked, I will get more health. His Copper Yari is still banged up to hell, so even the boss doesn't have good boss loot. But, fear not, there is a solution. There is a box of, like, the boss's loot. Oh, and you know what I'm gonna do? Just in case I, like, trip and stagger and, like, take fall damage for the death, because I have basically no health right now. I will save so that I don't take fatal fall damage doing something silly. So if you come into the boss's room, there will be like a boss stash in one of these buildings. Yeah, here it is. 800 coins, bandit clothing, candles, fishnet, and stupa, which is a spiritual consumption thing. And a lot of these other houses in here probably have loot as well. Let's check. Not this one. Immediately proving me wrong. Now, there's still bandits here, like looters. Yeah, I'm brink of death. No, this one doesn't either. So I'm just going to leave. Mission accomplished. I have defeated at least 5 looters and the looter boss. Thank you for tuning in to Sengoku Dynasty, which originally streamed live on Twitch November 15th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Dynasty warriors.